Hey YouTube, so I wanted to do a power ranking for the top 5 Bachelorette contestants right now. And in this, I want to go super nerdy. Everybody's offering kind of their own opinion of, oh, I like this person, I like this person. So I wanted to create an unbiased opinion about who is going to most likely win or, place at the end of it. So what I've done is I'm a data scientist, so I've, extracted, data from this season compared against other seasons, and that's how I'm coming up with this ranking. So coming in at number 5, this one is a little bit controversial. I'm going to go with it's going to be Chris. Chris, yes, the Chris that is the snitch on his friend. The reason why is he had an absolutely phenomenal introduction. He brings out the choir, he starts dancing with Becca, and then, they just have a great, relationship, great banter back and forth with each other. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're dancing. Absolutely phenomenal. He comes off as extremely confident and is really able to develop rapport with Becca right away. The issue with this is that he didn't have a monologue at the beginning of the show. Traditionally speaking, that people with monologues place better because they're main contestants. The one thing that is counteracting to this is that generally they'll place important people first and last. He was at the end of it. So because of this, maybe it's not important because monologue's going to go to the first people. So we'll see how this plays out, especially because of the whole snitch situation. And one thing too that's very interesting is that the person that he kind of snitched against was eliminated, and he has a tendency of not following these trends that everybody else does. He was kind of boring when he introduced himself to Becca. He's like, "Hey, you're beautiful, and I'll see you inside." That has a tendency of not turning out well for the contestant at the end of the show. So let's go ahead and take a look at number 4, Jean Blanc. He had a great introduction. He was able to establish lots of rapport with Becca with going over his French, speaking her to her French and teaching her French. Did an amazing job with that. What really hampers Jean Blanc is his monologue that he had. Within this, he talked about items, he talked about cologne, he talked about his watches, and not really going into much depth about his personality or the struggles that he's gone through. So because of that, he's going to have a hard time later on in the episodes really showing his personality because it's only about watches and cologne. Coming in at number 3 would be Lincoln. Lincoln did an amazing job with his monologue. His monologue went in depth about his personality, struggles that he's went through, the person that he's become, and then his introduction was really lacking. And within this, my guess is, I could be completely wrong with this, is that he already met Becca before on some other thing. So I'm guessing that most likely that means that he's already established rapport with her, and he was like, why fuck something up that's pretty good? So I'm just gonna, bring her a cake that's delicious and then just leave it at that. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But as a tendency of, speaking that people with shorter introductions don't turn out that well. So that's kind of what's going against him. Number 2 on the list is Colton. Colton has amazing in-depth introduction with his monologue, really showing off the type of person he is, how he's battled through, his family being with one of his family members being ill, and his passionate towards football. Did an incredible job with that. Where he falls short is that he had a very okay introduction with Becca. He talked a little bit, they went in depth, they shot the confetti everywhere, that was a really cool moment. However, he really showed to fail off the type of person he was. Maybe this is because he's kind of shy or whatever, and this could really turn out against him in the long run, is that he has an inability to establish rapport with Becca. So that's kind of what this data is showing. Now let's get to the person in first place. We could probably already guess that it's going to be Garrett, and that's true. There is going to be one thing that I throw in here at the end, so keep listening. Is that he has a great introduction. He really shows himself off. Does a very, I would say, good monologue where he talks about fishing. He's really goofy. He's a really fun. He seems like a very fun guy to be around. The issue with this is that this doesn't necessarily turn out in the end to be the best type of person for the analytics standpoint. And that's because what turns out best is somebody that has depth to their personality, somebody that's fought through struggles. You know, we look at Jordan Rodgers from, 2 seasons ago, is that he talked about losing this girl that meant a lot to him and how he struggled and, how he's really battled through adversity. We can see that with Colt, we can see that with Lincoln. And he doesn't have this depth of character that these two people have. He's kind of a very happy-go-lucky guy. Maybe that's something that Becca wants. However, the issue with that is that 99% of the time, it's perfectly fine. It's not a big deal. You go by the day-by-day basis. Most of their day is going to be fine. However, something goes wrong and he's very happy-go-lucky about it, and Becca's like, okay, like we need to figure this shit out, because in the Bachelorette, everything is, kind of in their own little fantasy world, I would say. Whereas, in real life, there's bills to pay, there's, scheduling conflicts with work, they're in different cities. That happy-go-lucky attitude might not be able to get through it. Who knows? Just, something that the data is pointing out. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is something that could go back to bite Garrett, but I'm just saying that this is what the data is showing. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, my power rankings with the top 5. What I'm doing is I created this algorithm to really help people with their social skills. So really doing this has helped my social skills tremendously. So what I want to do is depending on how these turn out, that maybe we can go forward with doing more videos upon how to help people, what the trends are, so that we can go ahead and make improvements in people's lives to make them more social, more confident, and really making the people that watch this have more fun with their lives, enjoy their lives, be able to communicate what their experience are better, so that they can just go out, have a great time, and just really enjoy the moment that they're in. So if you like this idea, please subscribe to this video, and that I'm really excited about being able to provide this information to you. So appreciate it, and I hope to talk to you guys soon.